Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the Polygon network and specifically the price action of the 𝗕𝗃 token. As we get into the video, if you like it, find it useful, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new, then make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss another crypto update. Right, with that said, done and out of the way, let's dive into what is going on most recently here with 𝗕𝗃. So here we are. This is 𝗕𝗃 to the USDT. On the daily chart with Binance as our data source. We're on TradingView, so you can replicate this if you need to. We can see there's a few things that I really want to talk about on this particular chart for 𝗕𝗃 and where things are likely to go next. The first thing we need to acknowledge is the good correction that we've had on that stochastic relative strength index. We can see there's a bit of a downward trend now on this daily, so the expectations should be to continue this decrease a little bit, lose that momentum so that we can continue the strong growth to the upside for this particular project. Now obviously we have grown quite significantly ever since we kind of reached the bottom here on the charts. Now we were oversold all the way down here with a low of absolute zero, so there was only one place to go, and that was straight back up to the top end here. Now we effectively did this in as little as a couple of days. We went from oversold to overbought as we started to have this good increase. Now obviously this correction was quite overdue and we are still pushing the price up, although we have been decreasing. This is just testament to knowing that the momentum behind it is dropping, but obviously the price is still appreciating. That is perfectly fine because that means that we're working the volumes to our advantage. We're getting good volume to the upside and then not very many people are selling. This allows us to lose that momentum from the initial push to the upside, correcting our stochastic without doing too much damage to the price. So the other thing that's really important that we do acknowledge here on this daily chart is of course the resistance point. We are currently up against resistance here at the 50% level. Okay, this is just below that key area for us of the 618, the 702 and the 786. So there's lots of work still to kind of go through that really helps us take us out of this area and progresses the price action here of 𝗕𝗃. Now we'll get into the hourly chart to see exactly if we are likely to go up and past this area next week, or whether or not we're going to pull back and find a good support line. That support would probably be around the 382. We'll get into that in a moment. The next thing I really want to talk about is the price expectations during the remaining part of the bull run. Obviously, as we start to think about where the all-time high was and obviously where the low was during the fourth wave correction, where does this actually mean that we'll be going to? Well, the price prediction has actually kind of come in with 495% in gains potentially still on the table here. So the first price target that 𝗕𝗃 has is actually $4, okay? And considering the previous high was actually at $2.71, a $4 price target is the very first price target that we should be talking about. This is something that should be pretty easy once we pass past the 786 and the all-time high, and that will allow us to really take over that area. Now, the 2.618, this is $6.09. That's the second target that we have here for 𝗕𝗃. After that, we are talking about the 3.618 extension level, which comes in at $8.19. After that, $9.48 at the top of the 4.236. So lots of price expectations, lots of potential gains on the horizon here for 𝗕𝗃, which will be much needed use case, obviously, as Ethereum also appreciates in value during this time. This will really help push the price of 𝗕𝗃 to significant levels. So obviously up against resistance right now, and we know where we are likely to go as a part of the long-term play. Let's jump down into our hourly view, and here we're going to see, whether or not we're seeing a bit of a correction. Now we can see there's a bit of a downward trend along with our upward trend here, and what we look for is basically a push to the upside. We can find that we found that we good support just around here. I'll quickly mark this up with a horizontal ray for us, so we can see that this area right here was a previous area of resistance turned to support, really kind of a bit of resistance and support around here. Support, broken support, now resistance. So the resistance really is $1.60. But considering that we are oversold down here on our stochastic, we should start to see appreciation in our stochastic momentum, which hopefully will allow us to take over that $1.60 and potentially go above that 382, which comes in at $1.66. So right now there's lots of potential upside here that really help breach that area of resistance and hopefully back test and turn it into a support line as we grow into overbought and back down to oversold. We look to grow up in value and then push down and test that area of resistance and turn it into a support line. So those should be our short-term gains, right? We should be looking over the next 1 to 2 days to really come and test this area, both as a resistance line, but also as a support line going further forward. Once we have that area, that 50% area taken out and turned into a support line, it is about this yellow box area. And anyone who is familiar with the channel knows that we basically put these yellow box areas on just on the top of the 618, 702, and 786 areas of the Fibonacci retracement. These are the key areas. This is where you start to see a lot of rejection or very bullish signals, okay? So basically you'll find lots of resistance around the 702. If you get rejected from the 702, chances are you're going to be going down a little bit lower than the 618, unless of course you have good corrections on your stochastic and your RSIs, etc. With that being said, you tend to find and lose support if you do not breach that 702. Likewise can be said about the 786, but you're more than likely going to find support on the 618 if you do that. So what we're looking for here is to go up, probably up to the 618, pull back to the 50% area there, push up to the 702 and see if we can get past it with strong momentum. Getting a closed candle above this 786 area is the absolute vital thing that we need to see, preferably on the weekly chart. This is a big bull signal and helps basically tell the market that we are going into the next cycle or the next kind of phase, which will be very, very bullish. We just moments away from all-time high, pushing up into new areas, new growth and new price expectations, those price targets that we spoke about on the daily chart. So obviously getting a closed candle above the 786, this comes in at basically $2.26. So we're getting a closed candle here at above $2.26 as we go up to the all-time high area. That basically then is going to be the signal that's needed to help and become the catalyst moving up to the $4 range. So everything on the Matic's chart is looking very, very good at this point. But we are still talking about potential correction. So although we want to kind of get ahead of ourselves and we want to talk about going up past the 786, I do think it's more sensible to be considering a slightly longer term pullback. Okay, not so much in terms of price, but definitely on the momentum side. What we really want to do is actually trade sideways around this area for some time, probably over the next kind of 2 weeks or so, to correct our daily stochastic. In doing that, that gives us the maximum amount of potential to continue pushing back to the upside. And as a result, we'll be up above the 786 in a really strong way that will allow us to take out that $4 range. As a part of everything that we talk about on this channel, it's about being long term, not getting too focused on what is going on those hourlies charts or those 15-minute charts, but really being zooming out and taking a look at the bigger picture. Obviously, when I drop out to the weekly chart, there isn't a lot of data to really go by, but obviously we are got really decent high expectations on where Matic is likely to go during the rest of this run. And as a result of that, we should obviously be in anticipation of that. With that being said, it's not going to be quick. We are expecting this to last until end of Q4, beginning of Q1 of 2022. And as a result of that, it's going to take weeks and months to actually start to see this price appreciation. With that being said, though, if you have a long-term vision, you will definitely be seeing this, in my opinion. And I do think that we are in for a pretty good end of Q3, beginning of Q4, and we'll be ending the bull run with some phenomenal highs. We have been talking about a multi-trillion-dollar market capitalization for the entire crypto space. This is something that we have already seen in terms of at least well over $2.5 trillion, but we are expecting it to be significantly higher than that. At the end of this bull run, we are expecting to see the market capitalization well above $6 trillion and potentially up towards the $9 trillion area. So I do think that many of these projects are going to be a bit late to the game in terms of that price appreciation. I think we're going to be taking the time to get there. And then towards the end of Q4, we're going to start seeing a lot of parabolic moves on the many altcoins, and they will all be pushing back to the upside in a very significant way. So it may feel that things aren't happening very fast, but guys, things are working in the background. The key technical areas are getting corrected, and we are seeing significant gains. You have to zoom out to see them. Guys, I'm going to keep this brief, and hopefully you have found this a brief update on Matic useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you will not miss another update here at Cheeky Crypto. With that said, done and out of the way, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.